Ever feel like some people are just like walking magnets for good fortune? Like they just win contests and snag incredible deals and always seem to be in the right place at the right time. It makes you wonder, right? Is it all just random chance or is there something more to it? A while back I read this statistic that 85% of lottery winners actually end up losing it all within a few years. And it got me thinking, if luck is all about winning the lottery, then why do so many winners end up worse off? Clearly, there's got to be more to this story, right? So today we are diving deep into the science of luck. What's the real story behind why some people seem to have all the luck? And more importantly, is it something we can learn to cultivate?
It's a fascinating question, and one that researchers have been exploring for quite some time. And you're right, it's definitely not as simple as just buying a lottery ticket and hoping for the best.
So where do we even begin to unpack this idea of luck? Is it just random chance or is there some element of skill involved?
Well, it's interesting because when we look at the research, a key theme emerges. Psychologist Richard Wiseman summed it up perfectly when he said, "Luck is not a magical ability or the result of random chance, but a way of thinking and behaving."
That's a pretty bold statement. So are you saying we can ditch the lucky rabbit's foot and focus on our mindset instead?
Pretty much. Wiseman actually distinguishes between two types of luck: blind luck, which is pure chance like winning the lottery,
Yeah.
and then opportunity-based luck. The second type is what we're really interested in today. It's about recognizing and acting on opportunities that others might miss. It's where preparation meets the right mindset.
All right, so it's not about sitting around waiting for something good to happen. It's about actively creating the conditions for those lucky breaks.
Exactly. It's about understanding the psychology behind why some people seem to attract more luck. And research has actually identified some key personality traits that lucky people tend to have.
Okay, I'm all ears. What are these magical traits that make some people luckier than others?
Well, for starters, lucky people tend to be more optimistic. They have a positive outlook on life and believe that good things will happen. This optimism fuels their actions and makes them more likely to take risks and pursue opportunities.
So it's like that saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. If you believe in your ability to be lucky, you're more likely to act in ways that create luck.
Precisely. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And this ties into another key trait of lucky people: openness to experience. They're willing to step outside their comfort zones, try new things, and embrace the unknown.
That makes sense. The more you put yourself out there, the more likely you are to stumble upon those serendipitous encounters or opportunities that can change your life.
Absolutely. And this leads to another important trait. Lucky people are incredibly observant. They pay attention to their surroundings, notice patterns, and are quick to spot those subtle cues that others might miss.
It's like they're tuned into a different frequency, picking up on signals that most of us are oblivious to. Are there any specific studies that illustrate this point?
Absolutely. Richard Wiseman conducted a fascinating experiment where he asked participants to count images in a newspaper. Now, what's interesting is that within the pages, there was a hidden message that said, "Stop counting, there are 43 images."
Wait, so there was a shortcut the whole time?
Exactly. And guess what? The people who Wiseman had classified as lucky based on his previous research spotted this message almost immediately. The unlucky participants, on the other hand, were so focused on diligently counting every single image that they completely missed it.
Wow, that's incredible. It really highlights how our mindset and level of attention can influence the opportunities we see and seize.
It's a powerful demonstration of how our perceptions shape our reality. Lucky people aren't just magically blessed with good fortune. They're actively creating it by being open-minded, observant, and willing to seize those unexpected chances.
Okay, so this is all starting to paint a clearer picture of what luck really is. But the burning question remains, can we actually learn to create our own luck? Or are we all just at the mercy of fate's fickle whims?
Welcome back to our deep dive into the science of luck. We just finished talking about how lucky people seem to share certain psychological traits like optimism, openness to experience, and keen observation skills.
It's funny, we talk about luck as this like mysterious force, but when you start to break it down, it becomes a lot less about four-leaf clovers and a lot more about psychology.
It really is fascinating. And one of the most interesting aspects of this psychology is how it interacts with serendipity.
Serendipity. Okay, so we're moving beyond just personality traits now, but what exactly is serendipity and how does it tie into this idea of creating your own luck?
So serendipity is essentially the art of making fortunate discoveries by accident. It's about those unexpected encounters or events that seem random but often lead to amazing opportunities.
So it's like stumbling upon a hidden gem while you're out exploring a new part of town. You weren't looking for it, but you found something amazing anyway.
That's a great analogy. But here's the key. Serendipity is not just about passive chance. It's about being prepared to recognize and act on those opportunities when they arise.
Okay, so it's like that saying, chance favors the prepared mind. You have to be open to the possibility of those fortunate accidents happening.
Exactly. It's about having that serendipity mindset, as Dr. Christian Bush calls it. It's about being curious, observant, and willing to connect the dots in unexpected ways.
I'm starting to see how all these pieces fit together. It's like luck is this intricate tapestry woven from our mindset, our actions, and our openness to serendipity.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And this tapestry is woven through so many areas of life, from personal relationships to groundbreaking scientific discoveries.
Speaking of scientific discoveries, it makes me think about how many breakthroughs have happened because of serendipity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Take the invention of the microwave oven, for example. Percy Spencer, an engineer working with radar equipment, noticed that a candy bar in his pocket had melted. Most people would have just shrugged it off as a strange occurrence. But Spencer was curious.
Wait, so the microwave was discovered because of a melted candy bar?
You heard that right. Spencer investigated further and realized that microwaves from the radar were responsible for the melting. This accidental observation led him to create a device that could cook food using microwaves.
That's incredible. Talk about a lucky break. But I guess it wasn't just luck. It was his curiosity and willingness to explore an unexpected event.
Exactly. It was the perfect combination of serendipity and a prepared mind. And there are so many more examples like this. Think about Alexander Fleming and the discovery of penicillin.
Ah, yes, the classic story of the moldy petri dish.
Exactly. Fleming accidentally left a petri dish of bacteria uncovered, and when he returned, he noticed that mold had grown on it. But here's the crucial part. Instead of just tossing it out, he observed that the mold was actually killing the bacteria.
So a simple mistake, or what some might call bad luck, actually led to one of the most important medical breakthroughs of all time. It really highlights the power of being observant and open to the unexpected.
Absolutely. Fleming himself said, "One sometimes finds what one is not looking for." His discovery wasn't simply luck, but the result of years of dedicated research combined with a keen eye for observation. It's another amazing example of how preparation meets opportunity.
These stories are so inspiring. It seems like so many groundbreaking discoveries happen at the intersection of chance and a prepared mind.
I couldn't agree more. They demonstrate that being open to unexpected events, being curious and asking the right questions, can lead to remarkable outcomes.
Okay, but let's shift gears a bit. We've talked a lot about serendipitous moments and scientific breakthroughs. But how does this luck mindset translate to everyday life? Can we really create our own luck in our careers, relationships, or personal pursuits?
Absolutely. It's about applying the same principles, openness, action, and a positive outlook to everything we do.
So it's not just about hoping to bump into the next Alexander Fleming at the coffee shop. It's about actively cultivating that luck mindset in all areas of our lives.
Precisely. For instance, imagine you're feeling stuck in a dead-end job and wanting something more fulfilling. Instead of just complaining, someone with a luck mindset might start actively networking, attending industry events, or even exploring online courses to gain new skills.
So they're not just passively waiting for their dream job to fall into their lap. They're taking action to create opportunities.
Exactly. It's about putting yourself out there, making connections, and expanding your horizons. You never know what doors might open just by taking that first step.
And what about relationships? Can this luck mindset help us find love or deepen our existing connections?
Absolutely. It's about being open to meeting new people, being genuinely interested in others, and nurturing the relationships you already have.
So ditch the dating apps and start striking up conversations with people in real life.
It couldn't hurt. But it's more than just romantic relationships. It's about being present and attentive in all your interactions. It's about showing appreciation and being a good listener.
So fostering an environment of connection and genuine interaction.
Exactly. It's about creating that positive energy that attracts people to you and helps those connections flourish.
You know, it's funny, we talk about wanting to be lucky in love, but maybe it's not about luck at all. Maybe it's about creating the right conditions for those meaningful connections to blossom.
I think you're onto something there. It's about realizing that we have more agency in our lives than we often give ourselves credit for.
This is all starting to make so much sense. It's like the luck mindset is really about taking a proactive approach to life, trusting that the universe will meet us halfway.
I love that. It really captures the essence of what we've been discussing. It's about realizing that we're not just passive recipients of fate, but active participants in creating our own destinies.
This has been incredibly enlightening. But before we get too carried away with our newfound luck powers, I think we need to address the elephant in the room. What about those times when, despite our best efforts, things just don't go our way? When bad things happen and it feels like the universe is conspiring against us?
That's an important point. And it's essential to acknowledge that life is full of ups and downs. Bad things happen to everyone, and sometimes it simply feels unfair.
So, what do we do when those unlucky moments strike? Do we throw in the towel and say, well, I guess I'm just unlucky?
Definitely not. Remember, the luck mindset isn't about denying the existence of bad luck or pretending everything is perfect. It's about how we choose to respond to those challenges.
So, it's more about our attitude and perspective when facing adversity.
Exactly. It's easy to fall into a spiral of negativity and self-doubt when setbacks happen. But the luck mindset encourages us to view challenges as opportunities for growth and learning.
So, instead of asking, why me,
Mhm.
we ask, what can I learn from this?
Exactly. It's about reframing those experiences as stepping stones on our journey, rather than insurmountable roadblocks.
Okay, I can see how that shift in perspective can be powerful. But what about those truly difficult situations where it seems like there's nothing we can do to change the outcome, like losing a loved one or facing a serious illness?
Those are undoubtedly some of the most difficult experiences we face in life. It's important to allow ourselves to grieve, process, and heal.
So it's not about pretending those situations are lucky in any way.
Absolutely not. But even in the darkest of times, we can still choose to focus on the things we can control. Our attitude, our perspective, and the way we treat ourselves and others.
I see. It's about finding those glimmers of hope and meaning, even when it feels like everything is falling apart.
Exactly. And sometimes those moments of grace and resilience can be their own form of luck.
This has been an incredible conversation so far. It's really made me rethink this whole concept of luck. It's not just about winning the lottery or finding a four-leaf clover, but about cultivating a mindset that invites opportunity, embraces challenge, and finds meaning in both the good times and the bad.
I'm so glad to hear that. And remember, luck is not a destination, but a journey. It's about showing up every day with an open mind, a grateful heart, and a willingness to embrace the unknown.
This has been a fascinating deep dive into the science of luck. I'm feeling inspired to go out and create my own luck. But for now, we'll have to wrap things up for part 2. Stay tuned for the final part of this episode where we'll continue to explore the power of the luck mindset and how it can transform our lives.
Looking forward to it.
Welcome back for the final part of our deep dive into the science of luck.
It's been fascinating to unpack this concept, hasn't it? From psychology and serendipity to those aha moments in science, we've explored how luck weaves itself into the fabric of our lives.
We've definitely shattered some myths about luck being purely random and uncovered some actionable steps we can all take to cultivate a bit more good fortune in our lives.
And this final part, I want to touch on an aspect we haven't explicitly discussed yet, the role of intuition.
Okay, intuition. You mean that gut feeling you get, the one that sometimes whispers, go for it, or warns you to hold back?
Precisely. Some people might call it a sixth sense, or even dismiss it as superstition. But fascinatingly, research suggests that intuition is a highly sophisticated form of information processing.
So not just some mystical force, but our brain actually working behind the scenes.
Exactly. It's like our subconscious mind is constantly drawing on past experiences,
Yeah.
patterns, and even those subtle cues we might not consciously register. It all comes together to give us these intuitive nudges.
That makes me think of those times you just know something, even if you can't logically explain it. Like that time I had a strong feeling not to book a certain flight, and it ended up getting canceled.
It's a perfect example. It's as if our intuition is picking up on signals that our conscious mind misses, providing us with these almost instinctual insights.
So how can we get better at tapping into this inner wisdom, this intuition that seems to play a role in creating luck?
Well, the first step is simply becoming more aware of those intuitive feelings when they arise. Pay attention to what your gut is telling you. Notice the situations where it speaks up and observe how those choices ultimately play out.
So instead of brushing off that inner voice, we should treat it like valuable data, almost like training a muscle.
Exactly. The more we acknowledge and reflect on those intuitive nudges, the stronger that connection becomes. It's like we're refining our internal compass.
This reminds me of that quote we discussed earlier, chance favors the prepared mind. Maybe part of being prepared is also being attuned to those subtle signals our intuition sends.
I love that connection. It's about cultivating a receptive mindset both to external opportunities and to the whispers of our own inner wisdom.
Okay, so we're not just waiting for luck to strike. We're actively tuning in to both the world around us and the wisdom within us.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Studies have shown that people who consider themselves lucky tend to score higher on measures of intuition. They trust their gut feelings even when it goes against conventional logic, and often end up with favorable outcomes.
So it's like a feedback loop. The more you trust your intuition, the more those lucky decisions reinforce that trust, and the cycle continues.
Precisely. It's a beautiful process of self-discovery and empowerment, and it highlights how much agency we have in shaping our own experiences.
This whole concept of intuition is fascinating. It feels like we've just scratched the surface of a powerful tool that can help us navigate life's complexities with more grace and, dare I say, luck.
I couldn't agree more. It's about reclaiming that inner wisdom that's always available to us, guiding us towards those paths that are meant for us.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive. It's changed how I think about luck, not as something out there that happens to me, but as something I can cultivate within myself.
And that's the most empowering realization of all, isn't it?
Yeah.
That we all have the potential to invite more luck into our lives by shifting our mindsets, taking action, and trusting our intuition.
Absolutely. It's about being open to the unexpected, embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, and recognizing that even in those unlucky moments, there are valuable lessons to be learned.
Beautifully said. It's about approaching life with a sense of curiosity, gratitude, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. That's where the real magic lies.
Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey exploring the science of luck. It's truly been a fascinating conversation.
The pleasure was all mine.
And to all our listeners, we hope this deep dive has sparked a new understanding of luck, not as a matter of chance, but as something we can actively create in our own lives.
Remember to keep your eyes open for those seemingly insignificant opportunities. Listen to that inner voice and trust that the universe has amazing things in store for you.
Until next time, may your journeys be filled with serendipitous encounters, fulfilling connections, and just the right amount of luck.
Farewell, and may you always find your own four-leaf clovers wherever they may be hiding.